Hello, dear students. Today we are going to start chapter number 18 of our English grammar book, Essentials of English Grammar and Composition. And name of the chapter is Clauses. Actually, sometimes we take clause as phrase, but we must be able to distinguish between clause and phrase. That is what we are going to learn in this chapter. What do you mean by clause and what are the kinds of clauses? So, as I told you that sometimes we get confused with the meaning of phrase, clause, and sentence. So, we must be aware of the difference between phrase, clause, and sentence. First of all, let us take up clause. A group of words that forms a part of sentence and has a subject and a finite verb of its own is called a phrase. Look at here. My neighbor is a man of great wealth. Here, great wealth is a phrase. And if we write it, my neighbor is a man who owns great wealth. Here, as I told you, the definition of clause, it is a part of sentence and it is group of words, and that group of words must contain a subject and a finite verb. Now here in second sentence we are having a subject and a finite verb on. So here this group of word who owns great wealth is a clause. A clause has only one finite verb, that you have to remember. We are having two kinds of verb, finite and non-finite. Here in clause we must have one finite verb and a subject. Although clause also doesn't convey the complete meaning, but still it must have a subject and a finite verb of its own. So, we let us recall a group of words that forms a part of sentence. It's not a sentence, it is a part of sentence and has a subject and a finite verb is called a clause. Now look at the difference between phrase, clause and sentence. A phrase doesn't have any finite verb because as we have already read the chapter regarding phrases, in that we have understood that a phrase may have non-finite verb. So here a phrase will not have any finite verb, but a clause must have one finite verb, only one. In a sentence at least one finite verb should be there, but maybe more than one are accepted. So here this is a major difference between phrase, clause and sentence. All these three are group of words, but the difference is that in phrase we don't have any finite verb, in clause we have one finite verb, and in sentence we must have at least one. More than one can also be there, but at least one finite verb should be there. Now the another difference between these three is that a phrase can never stand on its own, means its meaning is never clear to the person. It is just a group of words which convey incomplete meaning. A sentence can always stand on its own, means it will convey the complete sense to the reader. And a clause may or may not be able to stand on its own because a sentence can also be a clause. Like if it does, it means that it is also a sentence. A sentence is a clause also if it has only one finite verb. So a clause may or may not stand on its own. Sometimes it may be a part of longer sentence made up of more two or more clauses. So a sentence can be made by adding one or two clauses with each other, and a sentence is a clause also if it has one finite verb. Now there are three kinds of clauses as that of phrases: adjective clause, adverb clause and noun clause. Today we will study about adjective clause. As the name is itself indicating us that a group of words which are having a subject and a finite verb are known as clause. If that group of word is used in a sentence as an adjective, then it is adjective clause. But keep remember the condition of clause, that it must have a subject and a finite verb. So here look at these two sentences. The boy wearing a blue shirt is my brother. Now wearing a blue shirt is a phrase and it is adjective phrase. But look at the second sentence. The boy who is wearing a blue shirt is my brother. Now in this sentence, who is wearing a blue shirt is a clause because it has a subject, that is who, and a finite verb, that is wearing. So it is a clause, and here as it is used to tell the quality, so it is an adjective clause. The words which are used in a sentence as a clause to tell the quality, they are known as adjective clause. Now let us learn more about the adjective clause. An adjective clause describes a noun because it's the definition of adjective that it describes the noun. It usually answers the question which one. For example, in sentence 2, which boy? This is sentence 2 here. The boy who is wearing a blue shirt is my brother. Now who is wearing a blue shirt is giving answer of which boy. So here it is adjective clause. In sentence 4, it answers the question which teacher. Now in sentence number 4, it is giving the answer of which teacher, means if we are getting the answer of which boy, which teacher in the form of a clause, then it would be known as adjective clause. So we have come to know about this, that an adjective clause is usually introduced by the words who, whose, whom, which, that. Now where do we use it? Who is used for living beings and which is used for non-living things, and that can be used for both. Similarly, when, where, as. Very occasionally an adjective clause may also be introduced by as, when, where. So when and where are used for place. Read the example. I have no respect for those people who don't keep their promises. Now who is introducing word which refers to the living being, and don't keep their promises is adjective clause. So here we have learned that adjective clause is usually introduced by word who, whose, whom, when, where. Sometimes what happens, the introducing word may be omitted altogether. It is not necessary that always we will get an introducing word like who, whose, whom before the adjective clause. Sometimes it can be omitted, like here is a purse you have been looking for. Here we have omitted that word. So sentence can be written without introducing word before the adjective clause. Next thing you have to remember is that an adjective clause should be placed as close as possible to the noun it describes. Otherwise, the complete meaning of the sentence would change. So, you have to use adjective clause near to the noun of which it is describing. So, what we have learnt about adjective clause is it describes a noun or pronoun. It is introduced, it means adjective clause is introduced by who, whose, whom, which and that. But sometimes it can be omitted. An adjective clause should be placed as close as possible to the noun it describes. These things you have to remember about adjective clause. This is how our one kind of clause is get completed. Thank you.